Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing a what sold video for last week, which will be Monday through Thursday, April 15th through the 18th, and my sales continue to be consistent. I had one day that was actually above average for sales, but I'm still just plodding along, still listing 25 or so a day. Not a whole lot of plush though. I just finished a video on some more bins plush, so at least I'll get to process some because I'm just kind of feeling like, I need to have that excitement of getting some plush processed, and because that's the thing I love to list. Right now though, I'm very happy with the progress of my profit piles. I need to go through now and start moving, the stuff that I haven't gotten to but are still in the front shelves where I want my incoming to go. I need to go ahead and start moving them over here behind me, into that. I want to say that's like my long-term, but not hopefully real long-term, storage area for the stuff that needs to still be processed. The thing about going through all of these boxes and totes and bags is I'm accumulating so many just boxes that I don't want to keep. So we're having to make like weekly runs to our convenience center to get rid of the cardboard and just tons of just stuff where I've just kept storing stuff in whatever I was bringing them home in. And it's just, I'm very happy with the progress though. All right. Trying to think if there's anything I need to talk about before we get started. No, just moving right along, right? First two sales are on Poshmark. Again, I didn't have any Mercari sales up to this point, but the next video I had, I want to say 5 sales the weekend that I went ahead and I dropped my price by 10%, which is what Mercari was pushing all of us to do. 5 sales. I don't think I've sold anything since. So as soon as this, I've completed 4 of those transactions. I've got 1 still pending. As soon as that one's done, I'm pulling my money from there and just not really going to focus on it. If sales happen, they happen. But until they fix their shipping, I'm not going to bother with it anymore. But conversely, because I'm kind of sort of losing a platform, I like to have several platforms going for my stuff just to have more eyes on my items. I talked about, I have restarted putting stuff on Etsy, and I've made a couple sales on there. And the thing with the Etsy sales is I'm only putting my high dollar vintage plush and items on there. So anytime I make a sale on there, it's pretty, a pretty good sale. So I'll get to that one in just a second. But on Poshmark, Blankets and Beyond, white Lovey Bear, sold for $15. Y'all, even though Loveys are lightweight, usually 4 to 8 ounces, I sell a lot of baby toys on Poshmark. So I need to go through my inventory on eBay and start cross-listing it to Poshmark as far as the baby toys, especially the Loveys. I tend to do really well with them. For those of you kind of new to my channel, I use List Perfectly to cross-list from eBay. Everything starts on eBay. I don't use the List Perfectly catalog just because I have a very large store and I end and sell similar every month. So it would mess up the way that program works. So I just use it to cross-list. And so it just makes things very, very easy for me. And Poshmark is one of the easiest ones to cross-list to. They're just, it's just a couple of things that I need to change on the screen and submit. So this Lovey, $15. And then another Lovey, Angel Deer Zebra Lovey, sold for $13 on Posh. All right, my sale on Etsy. Yay, Etsy. I'm pretty sure I picked this up at the private pick estate sale that I was able to go to. It was, the pictures showed up in my Google folders. It was a year ago this month that we went to an estate sale that was being held in a warehouse because the house was so small and there was so much plush. Tons and tons of plush. I started buying a lot of it at the warehouse, and then I was invited to go back to the house with one of the workers and pick anything else that I wanted there. So we bought a lot that day. This particular Applause Little Beggar Dog plush sold for $49.95 on eBay. If you're new to my channel, I don't do free shipping. So when I say something sold for $10.95, the buyer also paid shipping. This from my profit pile, y'all, if I could get $10 for every one of these smalls that I have been listing, shoo, shoo. But this was a Disney Peter Pan Tick Tock Croc 3-inch figure, sold for $10.95. Betty Boop. We went to a yard sale a while back. I bought a lot of vintage Christmas ornaments there, but a lot of like vintage toys and stuff also. There was like a bag of like Pez containers and other stuff, and in the mix of all of that were these 3 Betty Boop candy dispensers. I think I paid $5 for the whole bag, and these 3 sold for $15. Carter's Child of Mine Pink Rattle Cat plush sold for $10. These I've had forever because I bought probably 25 of them. I want to say it was like 10 cents each. And slowly but surely I'm selling them. This person actually bought 3 of the Get Along Gang birthday decorations. They have those tissue paper honeycomb centerpieces for your table, and they bought 3 for $12.90. Minions Blushing Talking Bob plush sold for $26.95. Funny thing is I had another one that I needed to get cleaned up a little bit, so I went right behind selling this one and got the other one listed also. Russ Gilly Mouse Pink plush sold for $20.66. I love the vintage Russ. I pick up a lot of it. Most of it's bread and butter, but to me that's an excellent sell on a 6-inch plush. Fiesta, her name is Barb. She is a lioness plush and sold for $13.74. Playco Toys Emergency 51 plastic fireman's hat. Robert grabbed this at one of the kids' consignment sales I went to this spring. I want to say we paid $5 for it. And it sold in less than a month for $20.66. Not something I'm going to pick up again, to be honest. This was at the beginning when I started trying to pick up vintage, like houseware stuff. It took forever. But I'm glad it's finally gone. It was Lifetime Cutlery Stainless Serving Set from Japan, $11.49. Dandy Rabbit plush with the baseball sold for $10.95. One people have this in their cart. That's weird because it sold. I picked this up at a recent estate sale. I want to say I paid $2 for all 4 of them. I bought 2 different bundles of these Christian work study books. Didn't pay attention, and when I got back, all of the questions and answers in the book had been filled in. I had planned, I was hoping to sell like each of the books for like $10 to $15, but because they were all worked in, I just went ahead and made lots and listed them for $24.95, I think, for both, and both of them sold. So this one was Wendell Winkler Doctrine for Everyday Living, sold for $22.45. Care Bears Champ Bear. This is a small 7-inch vintage plush, sold for $8.96. I wonder why it's got that one people have this in your cart. That's just kind of weird. Chalkware Wall Hanging Cow Calf 6-inch. I picked up 5 banana totes of chalkware beginning of last year, I believe. And it took me forever to get through all of them. I did the first two, had, you know, great sales from them. It was just having to get them over here and get them all processed. But during all of this process of giving or going through my death piles, my profit piles. They're profit piles when you start working on them. They're selling. I'm selling, you know, probably at least one every one of these videos. And these two little cows sold for $20. I think each of the banana boats, I want to say I paid $7.50 for one, and then the rest of them were $10 each. And they were piled with all of these chalkware. This was from my profit pile too. When I checked comps, they just weren't selling for a lot. And they didn't, but I'm forcing myself to go ahead and process all of this stuff. I spent it. It's gonna sell. So I just listed it. And believe it or not, this sold in 2 months. These were VHS of the Indiana Jones trilogy, $8.96. But I only paid 30 cents. Ty Sweet Baby, my first teddy bear from 2014. Took a while to sell. You know, I like picking up Ty Pluffies and the Pillow Pals, but I'm probably going to start steering clear of a lot of the other plush, the Ty Babies I like also, unless I've checked comps before I buy them. And again, just say no to bears. Just say no to bears. I have too many. I think next week I may do a big sell, you know, like 40% off all of the bears in my store that are old, and see how that works for me. But $12.55. I considered I bought 3 of these dresses for $1 each at a yard sale. The brand is called Horny Toad. They sat here for a while because I contemplated keeping them, but I decided to go ahead and list them. I don't wear a whole lot of dress up clothes. So, you know, my closet's already full of just life is good t-shirts and sweatpants. I don't need to have a whole bunch of dresses. Sold for $20. Walmart White Angel Bear Plush sold for $11.66. LA Blues women's jeans sold for $15.01. I love selling jeans for $12 to $15. We sell quite a bit, which we can find these types of brands quite easily in our area. You know, the Levi's and the Wranglers and the Lees, and we do well with them. You know, I wish we could find some of the other, you know, Miss Me's and the other brands, but we just don't see a whole lot of them. And when we do see them, you know, they're wanting, you know, $15-20 for them. And I'm frugal. I don't like to spend that kind of money unless I know I'm going to make quite a bit on it. Unless it's something for my wall. All right, these were from my homeschool shelf upstairs that I have been working through. I have tons of homeschool stuff and teaching stuff. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a teacher before, well, actually while I was doing eBay in the beginning, I still was teaching, and then I just decided to quit. I was a special ed teacher, and so I've got lots and lots of stuff that I need to get through at some point. Homeschool stuff sells a whole lot better than teacher stuff. It's going to end up probably being lots. And I just haven't had time to start going through all of that. But these were actually things that I had of my own that we could use, but didn't. We ended up not using these. Just they're like workbooks to go with specific children's literature books. I just put them all together, sold them for $20. Baby gear. I like picking up some of the baby plush in that brand. This Lovey Dog Lovey sold for $11.66. Some of the baby blankets do very well. Gaffa, not a really great brand. This probably got picked up for its cuteness. Just a little white seal with that gray nose. $11.66. Wildlife Artists Echo Pals Turtle Plush sold for $11.66. I think Robert picked these up at an estate sale over the last couple of months. They are Montgomery Ward men's snow gloves, and they sold for $20.66. Now this is from my high bid estate sale that we won probably 3 years ago at this point. Funny thing is these sold at their full price, which means I had ended them and did a sale similar, and my new sale hadn't started yet. But these were just little snack boxes for the Teddy Grahams. They were called Snack and Go containers, and the 3 of them sold for $39.95. So that was an amazing, amazing sale. Toys R Us Rainbow Zebra Plush from 2015. I accepted a $12 best offer. Funny, you know, I've been using Google Lens on almost everything that I pull out of totes. And then I can decide, am I going to put it in the bag that I'm going to donate? Is it just not worth the time? You know, if it's somebody has it listed $1 free shipping, which y'all, I see that quite often. But there were sold comps on this, so I went ahead and listed it. It sold almost immediately. It's just a little walking parrot plastic toy that when you put it on something, it walks down. $10 almost instantly. Bob the Builder. I pick up most plush that are Bob the Builder. In fact, I love to find the older little plastic vehicles by Hasbro. They tend to do really well. I think they were talking types. There are, you know, lots of small vehicles also in that series. I do really well, but I don't find them very often. This Bob the Builder plush sold for $14.36. Classic Eeyore plush by Disney. He was made out of fleece. He needed a bath, and when you wash these types of plush, you end up with fuzz balls, and a lot of times, you know, it's not the type of fuzz ball that if I used a sweater shaver, it would probably damage it because you'd just be taking off too much of the fabric. So I just show pictures of what they look like, and he still sold in less than a month for $16.16. TL Toys. This was a cute rabbit plush. I got a message from, I think this buyer was in Japan, asking if I would ship directly to her. I think at some point soon, I'm going to go through all of my listings or most of my listings and start adding back in international sales that I ship directly myself, but only to certain countries. Usually, I think the 4 that I try to stick with are Canada, England, Australia, and Japan. I've never had any issues with deliveries of items in those countries. They all have delivery confirmation that shows up in our listings when they are delivered. And I think when eBay International Shipping first started, it was all or nothing. You know, you had to either use the eBay International or ship on your own. But they have changed the program now where you can do both. You can have it as eBay International Shipping, and you can ship directly yourself. So I think I'm going to go in and add back those 4 countries and start, you know, making sales to those countries where the shipping's not going to have all of the added stuff that gets done through the eBay International program. And hopefully my sales will pick up this year for those countries. I tend to stay away from most of the others just because you don't get the delivery confirmation. So it's just my personal preference. But this buyer sent me an offer of $20, and I did add Japan shipping to it. Angels Women's Flared Cargo Jeans. Love picking up most jeans that are flared and cargo. These sold in less than a month for $22.21. Buffalo David Bitten men's jeans. They had some condition issues. Sold for $13. But again, less than a month. I'm all about the quick sells. I just think eBay rewards you if you just start taking more offers and not just only doing counter offers all of the time. Or I hardly ever decline unless somebody keeps sending me ridiculous, like $2 offers on a $20 item. And then the next time they send me $2.25. I'll decline those, but for the most part, I respond with a counter offer. And I think eBay likes all of that stuff. And so I tend to sometimes just go ahead and take an offer if it's close. And you guys know I'm frugal with our cost of goods. Most things are $1 or less, especially most of my toys. Or we buy them at the bins where it was $1.89 a pound. But I've been told that they've raised the price at the St. Louis bins. So I don't have a whole lot in this stuff. Next is an Eden Blues Clues dog plush. This is just a 5-inch vintage plush, and it sold for $13.45. Chico's women's top shoulder cut sold for $12.51. BJU, Bob Jones University, writing homeschool curriculum. This, I think Robert picked this up a couple of years ago. He brought a whole bunch of homeschool curriculum. A lot of it was Abeka and Bob Jones. And I'm down, I had probably 9, cardboard boxes full, and I think I'm down to 2 left. So when I realized that this was one of the older curriculum that I had, I went ahead and accepted a $40 offer. $40. Yeah, this was a mistake buy. I had thrown it in a IKEA bag at an estate sale, and I was going to ask Robert. I hadn't even checked it yet, and then as we were checking out, we just went ahead and paid for it. Now we'll be on the lookout for this because this thing sold as soon as I listed it almost. It is an Echo Flex plug-in smart speaker. It was still sealed with the original seals all around it, which I took pictures of all sides. And $35.95. I paid $3 for it. Volcom men's shorts sold for $13.21. Sold almost immediately after listing them. Levi's 514 corduroy men's pants sold for $25. Kelly Toy Rattle Giraffe Plush sold for $13.45. I don't remember where I picked these up, but I want to say I paid a couple of dollars for a box of them. It was Ingrid Ltd. Limited, Chicago melamine stackable plates, and I had 2 sets of the yellow. I think I have other colors also. I want to say blue. I think I paid $10 for all of it. But somebody bought 2 of these sets of the yellow plates for $40. Jimmy, I love picking up Jimmy. I'm like 60-40 that they actually work after I get them home. But I still tend to pick them up, especially when I can get them for a couple of dollars. This was Snoopy Dog from the Peanuts. I have a video showing him working, and he sold for $30. Golden Bear Company. Anytime I see a tag that says Golden Bear, I usually pick it up. I just love the quality. It's older, like this one was from 2001. A lot of the Barney plush is Golden Bear Company, and I like it. This Dalmatian dog plush sold for $8.96. Churchill Willa Rosa, picked up like 2 huge cardboard boxes. I want to say $20 or $25 at a yard sale last year. I've sold most of it. Very, very popular. These were coffee mugs, and this person bought 4. I think the only 4 I had, 4 of them for $39.44. But I It had soup tureens and gravy boats and salt and pepper. I've sold almost all of it. This is a viewer sale, so thank you so much, Sherry. Sherry purchased these 2 items. One was a bear surprise by Just Play, and then an empty multi-toys troll doll. Paid $19.72 for the 2 of them. So thanks again, Sherry. Profit pile stuff. Y'all, I know this stuff accumulated because it was hard to identify before Google Lens. I would have never in a million years thought that this was vintage Jim. I would have probably thought it was Barbie or something like that. But just like so easy to identify this stuff. It sold in about a month for $8.06. But it's just an itty bitty teeny tiny microphone. Picked this up at our local Goodwill earlier last year. It was Postman Pat from 1984, a little ceramic kids cup. Took a while, less than a year, so $17.95. I tend to pick up a lot of like coffee cups type stuff. Squinkies and Littlest Pet Shop, y'all. I didn't try to identify all of this stuff. I just decided, you know, if somebody wants to take the effort to divide this stuff out, it was all in a tote, and I was just like, I took all the animals out, but I know that there had been Squinkies in there, and I knew there had been Littlest Pet Shop stuff in there, so I just kind of mixed it all together, and it sold almost immediately for $20. Just a whole lot of little. The last 2 are my best sells of the week. And I sold this very, very quickly. Y'all keep your eyes out for these. They are Leapfrog, Twinkle Twinkle dog plush. There is Scout, and then there's Violet, the purple one. They're supposed to have a lovey that's attached to them. Mine did not have it. A lot of times they don't. If you find it with the lovey, it's probably $75, $80 plus depending on condition, but mine didn't have it. I still snatched it up because it sold for $49.95. And then my best sale was this, y'all, Fisher-Price Backyardigans. This was Pablo the Penguin. It's a large plush pillow, 22-inch, and it sold in about 4 months for $69.95. Definitely keep your eyes out for character pillow plush. Check your comps. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys are starting to get out and get some yard sales done. You know, tomorrow we've got a couple of church rummage sales to go to. Tomorrow we also have our reseller meetup in the evening. Those are always so much fun. And, you know, hopefully as the weather starts warming up, y'all, we had freeze this week. We had freeze nights. But hopefully as the weather warms up, we're going to start seeing more and more yard sales. But we still have our estate sales, which is what I really enjoy, the estate sales for just vintage in general. So I'm ready though to start getting out and doing stuff on, you know, for us, we can go to some estate sales Wednesday evening, but a lot of the estate sale companies start Thursday, and a lot of yard sales do too. So then, you know, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and beginning of the season, we're like really raring to go and get to all of these yard sales. And then by the end of the season, it's like, do we have to? Do we really need anything else? But it's fun. It's fun, y'all. The sourcing is the fun. Although I like the listing part too. I really enjoy all of it. Probably my least favorite is probably pictures. No, probably storing everything. Just trying to find space for it. So what's your favorite? What's your least favorite? What's your favorite? All right, get to work. Bye.